Well, hello, hello, hello. I am in the Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. What is it? To me, it's my promised land. Good morning, guys. This is Matt in the Man Cave, and we are traveling right now. Look at the sun coming up. It's just a big ball of fire. What's so funny is if we were not even 10% closer, we would burn up. 10% further away, we would freeze. God's sovereignty rules over all. I love God's creation, and hidden in the clouds now is the sun. It is so awesome. And you can just kind of see through the clouds the sun. Look how magnificent that is. And our God created that. That is just absolutely, totally awesome. I don't think I've ever seen the sun more round, more orange. It's almost like I could grab it. It looks like a gigantic orange over there. I could just grab a hold of the sun. But I tell you what, I'm just amazed and mesmerized by my God, who could do anything and everything. And He created us and He loves us. And you know what else? What's better than that? He gave His life for us so we could have life. Because I'm not good enough. His standard is perfection, but His Son was good enough. And I have imputed righteousness. Guys, it reminds me of Psalm 113, verse 3. From the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised. So I'm talking to this guy Monday, and he is twisted. His prior job, he had put 20 years in it, and here's the thing, he had a 401k, and he was so proud of how much money he had saved. But as the conversation went on, I recognized he kept on checking his phone, kept on checking his phone, kept on checking his phone. And he just looked at me, he says, you know what, I've lost half of my 401k between Friday and today. What does he need? He needs rest. And all of our lives, we don't rest. We don't understand what it means. The writer of Hebrews absolutely understands. If we were to go to Hebrews chapter 4, look at verses 9 and 10. Listen to this. It's so amazing. There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. When we look in the original language at this word rest, it is only used here in the New Testament. It speaks volumes because it is the same word that is basically used in Genesis when God rested after 6 days of work. On the seventh day, what did He do? He rested. This text is telling us that we have to enter into that rest, and most Christians don't. Most Christians do not enter into the rest that is described in Genesis. But this rest that's described in Hebrews requires something of you. You need to cease from striving. You need to cease from trying to do it in and of yourself. You need to stop working, and you need to enter into what God has already done through a covenant, through the cross, through the blood, through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. You need to enter into something He's already taken place. While we were driving to this area, I was really tired. I was drinking gallons of coffee. We had already stopped by Buc-ee's. I love that place. I got myself a fat burrito. I mean, it was great. The group is called Mercy Me, and it's the best news ever. And I'm just driving in, I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden I'm listening to it, and it just awakens my spirit. The battle's already been won. I think your day's about to get better. And I thought about it, and I was like, that's what we're talking about. That's what this guy that I was talking with didn't understand. He was striving, he was trying to fix it, he was trying to, what am I going to do to make it up? Instead of listening to God and entering into what the Bible would call a Sabbath rest, that really isn't a Sabbath rest, it is a personal rest in the person who gave you the Sabbath.
Paul would speak about it in 2 Corinthians 3:5. Listen to how he speaks about it here. It says this, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think of anything as being from ourselves, but our sufficiency is from God. You get to a place where you stop striving, you stop trying to figure it out, you stop trying to work it out, and you enter into that rest. Why did God give us the seventh day in the book of Genesis? Was he tired? He wasn't tired. It was a picture. It was a selfie picture of John 15, of resting in the finished work of Jesus Christ and allowing him to fight the battle. Before we came up here, my daughter opened her Bible and she said this, hey, I got this really great text. And, Israel's about to be smashed. And, the king's upset. And, the prophet comes up to the king and says, hey, this is what God says. You don't need to fight in this battle. You need to stand still and allow the Lord to fight for you. The next morning, what does the king do? He gets up. He puts the singers up front. What is that? That's worship. What is that? That's trust. What is that? That's faith. What are you doing on a daily basis? Friends, can I just ask you this question? And it really will simplify whether you have entered into God's rest through his Son by way of the Spirit. Were you concerned about the stock market? It's a good question, man. Are you concerned about the next president? What about China, Russia, Iran, Israel? All of that isn't on our plate. It's on God's plate. Inflation, hatred, hate crimes, murder, rape. It's God's dealing. What does he ask me to do? Hear the still small voice. What does he ask me to do? Listen, praise him, trust him. The battle's already been won. The sooner you understand that precept, that concept, your day's going to get a lot better. Have a great day. This is Matt in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Praising the Lord.
Check it out, guys. This is the good half right here. This. No. And this is the.
This is the good
No,
half.
that
This
is.
is tainted.
No, this is tainted right here. This is acceptable. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. That's. Look at 1, 2, 3 against that. That shouldn't be allowed.
Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the others.